evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Virtual Velocity Racing Truck Series presented by S&P Lemonade. We're here at the biggest oval track that we go to, Talladega Superspeedway. 2.66 miles of high-banked, high-speed, high-intensity, just crazy white-knuckle racing here, and looking forward to it. Looks like we got a few drivers out there, 14 right now putting in times. Still waiting for 3 more to put in times, but that time is about to run out. So we'll see if we'll have 17 trucks out there in the field, or maybe just 14 getting the start here tonight. But should be a good one either way. Carl Emmert joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we're here at the place where brake pedal only matters when you're going in the pits.
For the most part, I mean, if you're hitting the brakes, there's an incident in front of you. And these trucks run wide out here at Talladega, and they get some good speed going. I guess it's just gotta work with each other. We'll see how well the field works. Well, the big thing here is obviously if they can maintain, a clean race and get a green flag stop in. I know how you always talk about how I like it here, but obviously with 94% fuel and only 80 laps, possibly only looking at the possibility of maybe one pit stop here tonight. So I'm looking forward to seeing if and when that happens here tonight. But obviously, like you said, white knuckle racing, side-by-side action. But the qualifying is up, and it does look like we do have all 17 drivers up there on the screen. DJ Mitchell will be your pole sitter here tonight with John Garrett on the outside. Brandon Meyer out there in third with Gordon Larson in fourth. Len McNeese and Eric Blount back on row number 3. Ryan Kelly and Dalton Kilroe can't get enough of each other. They have to start this race by each other as well here tonight on row number 4. Tyler Hilton and Cole Spalding on row number 5. Joe Sullivan makes an appearance here at Virtual Velocity Racing back there on row number 6 with Mike Hasty. Todd Poston and Hemi Garadini back on row number 7, and row number 8, Michael Taylor with Tim Lee. Michael Pratt bringing up the back of the pack here as normal, that number 77, but I seen him on the top of the charts during practice, Carl, so looking forward to see if that 77 can go from the back to the front, maybe get a win here tonight.
I certainly like the team name there for Joe Sullivan, but Todd Poston, the Shooter McGavin Motorsports, that's not exactly a bad one either. But teammates are definitely going to be in short supply here tonight. You're going to need as many, if not more, than you typically have, as you could be teammates with everybody at some point here tonight. You just got to find who you work well with, who you can make those moves with, but you don't have to do that for quite some time. An 80-lap race out here tonight, so essentially 75 laps of just surviving, and then 5 laps of really getting after it and trying to figure out who's going to win this thing. As good to see the field out here pacing, and we'll take a look at the points here real quick before we get to it. Dalton Kilroe leads the point standings by 10 points over Ryan Kelly. Tyler Hilton in third place, only another 8 points back, another 6 back to John Garrett, and then 1 more point back to Robert Kahn and Gordon Larson, both tied for 5th in the point standings. So still pretty close here after 3 races in the series, and it's what you like to see for sure, as we've had Ryan Kelly win the first 2, Dalton Kilroe winning at Indy last week and taking over in the point standings in doing so. This is race number 4 here of the series, and then we'll head to August, have 3 more before we have the first off week of the season. But this is the one where I'm sure some of these drivers are circled in the calendar, looking at a race where maybe they can upend the Dalton Kilroe, Ryan Kelly kind of tandem domination here this season.
Yeah, obviously I've seen a lot of the 13 and 41 up front battling back and forth, and obviously mixing in there with a few others. And I got a lot of drivers, they enjoy these high bank, long races, plate races, white knuckle. I mean, there's a reason that they use these tracks for like money races, I guess, like, take a chance, because anybody can win, and everybody has the ability to get a great finish. So you never know when you'll get lucky, and sometimes with those money races out there, you could win a nice little pot. You put in 20, 30, 40 bucks and walk away, with $100 in your pocket. So, but we're ready to get going green, as the championship is on, points are on the line here tonight. going to be led there by DJ Mitz.
And we'll wait till we get green flag, which we finally will see now from Barney. We're racing here at Talladega. Good start here from the field. A couple of drivers already hanging back, and I say every time we go to Talladega, there's 3 different spots to be. You can try and race and get yourself to the front and avoid anything happening. You can try and be in the back and have some time to check up and avoid any of the incidents, or you can be one of those knuckleheads and those weirdos that enjoy being smack dab in the middle of all the chaos. And unfortunately, no matter what you're doing out there, there's a chance you're going to get caught up one way or another. Even if you're out front, you could be the one that gets taken out to get this thing started. But hopefully we won't see that here tonight. Hopefully we get some nice green flag running and can get Jimmy what he so craves every time we come to these super speedways, and that's a green flag pit stop.
Yeah, it's just the chaos of, all the drivers, or some of the drivers coming in as big packs. Dalton Kilrow getting stuck there, looking to go 3 wide as he squeezes to the outside of Brian Kelly, pushes John Garrett up the track a little bit. But will anybody go with a number 41? But it looks like they're going to stick to the outside. So Dalton Kilrow kind of stuck in the middle, but John Garrett coming down, maybe picking up some of that draft. We'll see what happens there on the outside as the 6 of Blount gives the 00 a push. So some battling going on here already as we're on lap number 2. So, there's one thing about Talladega, Carl. 3 wide is actually kind of comfortable. A lot more so than Daytona. And you can see here they were able to obviously make that work here pretty easily. And, we've seen 4 wide racing here at Talladega, and that's when it gets a little sketchy and something typically happens. But right now, drivers trying to find a spot and maybe their partner and catch up, fall back, whatever it may be, kind of get together. But everything looking so good so far. It does look like number 71 has taken the lead there, has picked up the 66 and dropped down a little bottom. Now 66 is going to take that momentum with Dalton Kilrow coming back. 71's going to end up losing that momentum as everybody seems to be letting them go. You can see how fast it is, and important it is to have a friend out there, and a little pushers up front. So just be careful with the drivers. But Dalton Kilrow looking to maybe get out front, and kind of the one spot that I don't like to be, early on in these races, Carl. I mean, I don't mind in the middle of the pack and white knuckling it and battling it and trade spots here and there, but it's just that lead. You get up there, and it's where you use the most fuel, and you end up forcing yourself to get out of the lead. But you can see that outside line, a lot of momentum as they leave the trucks down on the inside. You see them making their way back, so that 4 falling back quite a bit here already, but super early. John Garrett out to the lead though with Dalton Kilrow, and you see a lot of drivers now tucking down the inside. It's just who's going to work with who, and I think we're going to see a lot of trading places. And then back there at 49, Cole Spalding going to the outside with the 77 Eric Pratt. So, but Ryan Kelly's going to move up there and maybe pick up that draft, help that outside line get going. But the front 3, Garrett, Dalton, and then Len McNeese leading the way at the moment.
It does seem like the outside line has enough trucks in it to get it big right now. But John Garrett is the one out there in the lead, being pushed by Dalton Kilrow. But definitely seeing quite a bit of pushing the pusher here already, and usually not a good thing to do. But it seems like the trucks can take it here a little bit at least. Looks like a new paint scheme on the 31 there. Good looking Skittles paint scheme, I guess, to match the Skittles on the track map here on CRN. But good to see this field fill out here, and we get all 17. I know some drivers disconnected, hopped out, and sometimes there's some funky connection issues. You can hop out and hop back in, and all of a sudden it's a little bit better. And it looks like everybody connected pretty nicely. I don't see anybody blinking going through the trial here. As so far so good. We click off another lap, and I tell you what, I know Joe Sullivan was probably just intending to kind of sneak in here. It's Super Speedway here tonight, and doesn't want to obviously join a new league and make any kind of waves. But when you come in here with a bright magenta truck with nothing on there except it's just bright magenta, you're not just going to blend into the background, Joe.
I got him as the 15 Napa Auto Parts truck there, Carl.
Okay.
So
That should be a little bit better than what I'm seeing. I refreshed my trading paints thinking that it's got to be something on there, but yeah, I'm seeing a magenta and white truck on my screen, but that's trading paints for you.
Trading paints, doing trading paint things. It's a great little third-party program that allows you to hopefully have your favorite paint scheme on there, and as long as it's what it's supposed to be for you, and hopefully for me, for them, because these drivers do take some time to, paint these trucks or cars or whatever is out there. You've seen last night, drivers out there with their favorite bands and stuff like that. But sometimes, it doesn't pick it up, doesn't download it. You refresh. It doesn't want to pick that up for who knows what reasons. But and it can only be like one car or one truck, and it's irritating because how much the drivers invest in some of these paint jobs and wanting to look good out here for the fans out there. Speaking of the fans, got 11 viewers out there. If you haven't already, please thumbs up and like and subscribe if you haven't already. There's plenty of action here at CRN throughout the week. Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Double headers here on Wednesdays and Thursday nights. So plenty going on here at CRN to keep us busy for sure. And this is just the first one race of the night of the Core GT series. We'll be picking up later on.
I believe this is maybe the Core GT series last reprieve before they start hitting some rain races coming up. I know next week at Fuji, it's a 100% chance of rain. I don't know if it's going to be anything like you seen last night with CSRL, as that was a hurricane, a monsoon. I mean, insert rain term here. It was insane how crazy bad it was out there for the drivers, but they survived, and so far all these drivers here at Virtual Velocity Racing have survived the first almost 10 laps here in the race. We're on lap number 9 right now, so clicking them off here. Again, 80 laps on tap here tonight, so hopefully you settle yourself in, get you a little snack, a little drinky poo, and watch some close side-by-side racing here, because again, Jimmy, they can line up single file and just kind of run this thing until they get to their pit stops, and then kind of figure out from there, because especially under green flag conditions, obviously it's fun. That's what you like about the green flag pit stops here, the entrance of it, but it's really the exit and how much it spreads out the field that kind of be overwhelming to some here, as right now all 17 under a blanket, but after a pit stop it's not gonna be the same case.
No, he just spreads out, pretty well, and it's not just one driver, hitting his marks at the pits. It is a group. You come out by yourself, you're pretty much toasted. But right now, 3 wide down the backstretch here, right on board here with Tim Lee is, the whole field's together. I mean, you look on the track map, it's just one blob of Skittles, but something kind of interesting, and I don't think I've seen it here like this, Carl. The lead pack riding the middle line, so the inside line can't seem to make up any ground at the moment, and neither can the outside. So kind of an interesting formation they got going on here, as the truck's got plenty of room to try to maneuver, but you see the inside line, there's not like there's a few trucks down there, and everybody's holding kind of pace with that I guess the benefit kind of going to the middle line at the moment. So kind of a weird one here right at the moment, but we'll see how it all plays out. See the trucks bob around a little bit, maybe looking for a little draft, maybe pick them up, maybe get a chance to get out to the lead. But a little wiggle up there by the 31 of Todd Poston. That's 6th place here. He's behind the number 84, Len McNeese. And if you look over on the right side there, you can see the 13 finally maybe getting a little bit of momentum there on the outside, trying to catch up. So take that overhead look here, and you can see the trucks kind of avoiding that bottom line and really making them trucks run the outside. So and those 3 trucks there, the 13, the 71, and 15, trying to get a run out there on the outside to catch these leaders. But it's the number 66 of John Garrett still up front, followed by Dalton Kilroy.
now that it took some deleting and some re-downloading and control Ring, but it looks like I finally got all the paints out there corrected.
Run on the outside.
I do see the Napa number 15 out there, but also want to shout out the O2 of Tyler Hilton and the Rev Sport number 02, as he's got a Robert Jeffries Bowman Gray throwback car out there, and pretty good looking paint scheme right there, along with some of his other teammates. As a 71 now, gonna go for a bold move. I'd seen a little bit of orange there on the 71, and then thinking maybe a little teammate action there between Brandon Muir and Ryan Kelly. But well, for now, they want to test it out and see who can lead the front a little bit better. But unfortunately, 71 and Brandon Muir dropping out of that inside line. It hasn't exactly been the place to be here tonight.
No, you just see how that middle line just kind of had that momentum, and obviously now the 71 not on the outside, the push to 13, so now it's on the work the likes of the 15 of Joe Sullivan to kind of get up there and push the 13 around the track here and see if he can get the 13 back up there to the front. But obviously you see Dalton Kilrow getting right up there alongside the 13, trying to put a little pressure and maybe get him to make a mistake or something. But 3 wide here at Dega. Carl, this is what it's all about, what the driver's like. You talk about white knuckling, you got people pushing people, and even in the middle of the pack, maybe a little pushing going on here and there. And it looks like the O2, the thoughts of going 4 wide is, like you said, there is plenty of room. It can be done. It's not a comfortable situation. Right here is comfortable. 3 distinct lines with almost a car width between each on both sides, and I mean that's 12 drivers. 15 drivers next to Ford, and 13 drivers are all kind of packed up on the screen. And you can see drivers just kind of a little wiggle here, a little wiggle there, and the momentum will shift from one line to the next. But the 15, 13 is going to come and drop down to the middle. The O2, nowhere to go, and that's a teammate there, 66 of John Garrett, kind of staying in line and probably seeing his teammate kind of dropping back, but see the 13, 15 drifting back out just a little bit. 13 looks like maybe trying to drop off Joe Sullivan by himself as he comes down. But John Garrett now goes to the outside, kind of breaking things up. So a little bit of shift in the field here. They jockey around just a little bit. And Ryan Kelly dropping down to the bottom, picks up Len McNeese. Now the 71 down there, that moves John Garrett back to the front. Dalton Kilrow in second. Joe Sullivan makes his way up into third. Todd Fawcett and the Skittles Machine in fourth. And Ryan Kelly down there at the bottom. But we've going back in the back here. Emmy Garradini's got a new Honey Bees truck out there, some black and gold. It was my high school colors. We were the Knights. We had our colors with black and gold. So good looking truck back there as well as they make their way around the track. Mike Hasty back there in 16th, just kind of just hanging out. There's no reason, there's no rush. But we're on lap 16, Carl, so these laps are picking by pretty good here.
The Pizza Planet paint scheme as usual, and I mean he's certainly not going to get a tip for getting the pizza there on time as back there in the back of the pack. But either way, these drivers doing a good job. But it looks like the 71. Not sure if that was intended to drop down there on the bottom, but they're going to give him some room to get back up here on the track. You can definitely go 3 wide here pretty distinctly, and as Jimmy said, you can go 4 wide. We've been seeing 5 wide at the line, trying to fight it out all the way to the end, and some epic finishes here at Talladega. But that's why I just take your shots at me if you want, but in my opinion, Talladega is better than Daytona because of that, because it gives you more room. It's not as constricting, and you can kind of move around a little bit. You can see more opportunities, more passability, especially coming to the final laps of the race, and trying to make those aggressive passes. It's not. You don't feel like you have to kind of grease up the sides of your truck just to go through the middle and try to work your way up through there. There's plenty of room on both sides, and if there's no room to go up the middle, you find a way all the way to the outside and go 4 wide and try and make it happen out there. But you definitely don't want to do that. You don't want to be touching those wheels down below the apron. It's gonna be a little tough, but it's one thing. It's It's nice, Jimmy, just to see the trucks back out here on Talladega. We've been out here, seen the O'Reilly cars. We've seen the Gen 6s, the next gens, just about everything else. But seeing the trucks back out here at Talladega, it just feels right.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little while here. Just use the gyro cam here tonight to kind of give the fans out there kind of what the banking is like. It's huge. You can see the amount of the banking. The trucks on the outside are about 10, 15 feet in the air. Up above you on your right hand side there, and that gives some great banking here. Just kind of trying to pop around here, and you can see him here with Ryan Kelly. Go in a corner, and the truck's way up there in the air like that. Definitely not what the driver sees, because the gyro cam's staying level. And I'll go ahead and switch over here to the cockpit view here, what the driver actually sees when they go in a corner. And you can tell that you're on banking, but it's definitely not the same. It appears more flat, obviously, when you're in the car. And the world moves a little bit, not the camera, so you can tell you're on banking, but it's a little more pronounced there with that gyro cam, so it's always fun to see. But right now it's still John Garrett out front as he leads over the likes of Dalton Kilroe and Joe Sullivan in the top three, still hanging around in that middle lane, and it seems to be working here tonight as the drivers are having a pretty tough time. They got to be the drivers need to get organized and really get that run together and kind of keep it going. See Tim Lee down the inside there. Ryan Kelly now maybe trying to lead the charge here, try to get that inside of the line moving here as John Garrett kind of poking around a little bit, just trying to be followed by the drivers behind him. But so far so good. Wow, lap number 20.
I'm kind of surprised that John Garrett is so intent on leading. We've seen a couple of charges, a couple of drivers even get around John Garrett, drop down to the inside or back pass on the outside, and he's been adamant about getting back to the lead. I know Dalton Kilroe has had no problem pushing him back to the lead, and I'm sure that's by design. Kilroe is probably out there maybe saving a little bit of fuel behind the 66, but the 66 being out front this whole time has not been able to save any kind of fuel. So the question is, if and when we get to those green flag pit stops, will he have some friends that will pit maybe a lap or two earlier, because that's what he's going to have to do. He's probably going to be burning off more fuel than everybody else out here, being out front, being the one pushing that air, and it's going to be lowering that tank a lot quicker than everybody else.
I'm kind of looking at Discord. I mean, you have the room's kind of broken up a little bit, and obviously, let's see, DJ Mitchell, Dalton Kilroe, John Garrett, Glenn McNeese, Tim Lee, Todd Costa, Tyler Hilton, all hanging out. And then another room, you got Brandon Meyer, Brett Blount, Cord Larson, Henry Giardini, and Mike Hasty. And then another room, you got Cole Spaulding and Michael Pratt. And then obviously newcomer Joe Sullivan, obviously the new guy, down by himself here, so nice and quiet there for Joe. They're down in a room, so it's kind of one of those spots that 15 the odd man out, so new to the field, running in P3, trying to show this VVR that he's got what it takes to run with everybody out here. So it's just now it's going to be on him to kind of pay attention to when it's getting close to pit to come in and connect with these drivers and make it out there. And we've seen Joe out here, running plenty of times, so it's not like a big shocker to see Joe Sullivan up towards the front, as he always does a pretty fantastic job, especially at Super Speedway. So what can he do here tonight, being the lone man on the totem pole?
Yeah, you talked about drivers that enjoy running the super speedways. Joe Sullivan is definitely one of them. He enjoys these Talladega and Daytona kind of nights, and really kind of thrives. And more often than not, you'll see if, unless he gets wrapped up in something, he's gonna be up there battling for the lead, battling for the win. It's kind of amazing. We talk time and time again about drivers circling these super speedways, thinking that okay, this is my chance to win, maybe for the season. But so often we see some of the better drivers, some of the drivers that we see win week in and week out or running up front, just about every week. They're the ones that are up there battling for that win, and unless something happens that takes them out, there's a good shot that your regular night race winners are a race winner here at Talladega too.
Yeah, it's I mean, his natural talent sometimes, puts him in a situation. There is a way to run these trucks, obviously, and defend. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of time, and the more races you got out here, you can really kind of learn out how to do that. Obviously, John Garrett knows what he's doing, being out front and not commit to the bottom. Got to practice out there with his teammates. Realized it's pretty easy to hold that upper line there, just kind of coming down in the trial area here. Gordon Larson trading spots as he falls down to the bottom here with the number 71. And this early on, Carl, yep, that's me. I'm down here hanging down at the bottom along with everybody else, just kind of waiting for my pit stop before I have to worry about going the outside. Just have to get in line, follow around, and just kind of do my thing. If I get up leading in the front, like in the inside, I'm okay with that. But as long as I'm on the inside before pit stops, I try to set myself up for a nice pit entry to get in there without having to chop somebody's nose off or have to wait for somebody to move out of my way and fall in behind them. So it's just one less thing I need to worry about prior to the end of the race. And like you said, you're just out there kind of riding around, but the intensity out here, I mean, sometimes it can be a little dry for the drivers if everything's going smoothly, and they might be having some good conversations in their chat channels right now, and maybe just talking about what happened during the day, or just once it gets closer to pit time, be like, all right, I got 5 laps, I got 4 laps, whatever it may be. But I think they're probably close to, maybe halfway through their tank here. Is I think target, pretty sure, Carl, their target is probably around 55 to 60 laps. I know they can't go the whole way. that we know, but it's still a long time. They have a lot of fuel to burn off, 94% of the tank. So it's quite a bit of laps here at Vega in the trucks, especially if you can get in that draft and save something. And I guess that's my only concern for John Garrett is, hopefully, he was able to have some friends kind of come down and kind of take that burden off the weight of number 66. But it does look like he has dropped from the lead there. Now Joe Sullivan has taken over the lead here at number 15. So no newcomer. And to the lead, out to the front as he crosses the line, or coming down they're working down their way there on the backstretch. And just like that, it's hung out to dry. So I'm sure we'll see the train go by as a 31, now going to make it by. And that's the problem about being the new guy, and no teammates going to get left out there. So, but as dominant as that middle line was, has now been abandoned, and only the 15 and 98 hanging out there.
For the first time all race, we see the 66 back there in the field and not up there leading and getting pushed by Dalton Kimball back there in 5th place in line right now. But I know, like I said, some of the drivers enjoy coming to these tracks. What is a track that's on your bucket list, Jimmy? What's a track that in real life that you'd like to go to, whether it's a NASCAR type track, whether it's a short track, or even a road course? If there was one track that you can go to, even worldwide, what would it be?
There's a couple. I think because the newfound love through iRacing and the endurance races, obviously being a winner at multiple tracks over here in Florida. I just need to work my way over there. It's a toss-up between Daytona and Sebring. I know a couple of people, I know at least one core member that goes out to those races. What am I going out there and hanging out at the track and watching those cars get around there? 24-hour fan. Yeah, I'd probably be that stupid fan sitting in the bleachers for 24 hours straight, because it sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, I mean, Daytona is certainly a spot that I'm sure a lot of oval drivers would say, but I'm with you. Daytona, Talladega, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're going to see the cars for about 35 seconds of your life because they're going to fly by, and then you're going to wait for 50 seconds, and then they're going to all fly by again. It's not like it's close racing at all. As we're going to see some pit stops here already. But I agree with you. I think I would enjoy going to a Rolex 24 race at Daytona. I think that'd be pretty cool, especially at night. Seeing those cars rip by with the lights on at night and all the different classes. I think that'd be pretty cool. We talked multiple times that I wouldn't mind at some point trying to get down to Dover to see a race, because you said the racing
awesome.
there is really good there. So couple tracks on the bucket list. Yeah, I mean, right now, these drivers, surprisingly, maybe they're working this race backwards, and maybe they can make it 60 laps like you're thinking, and are coming in now to get that pit stop out of the way. Or maybe the calculations are a little bit different. Maybe they change the fuel amount in these trucks, because right now we're seeing the rest of them come into the pits, all but the 98 and the 49 going around for one more lap. So if this is the case, if this is the fuel mileage, we're looking at maybe a two-stopper instead.
I'll be happy to see that. Like I said, I only got a chance to get out there when I was just ghost driving too, so maybe the gauge is a little bit wrong. I wouldn't be surprised, but you can see the 31 had a great pit stop, kind of coming out by himself, and them being disorganized like this, Carl, helps out Michael Taylor and Cole Spalding that stayed out there and trying to work their way around here to the back side of the track, because they're not. Got everybody coming off the pits there. Is everybody after the pit stops here? And no black flags for anyone. We got the second group there now coming out. We'll see if they can get out there and get the trucks up to speed. But here they come. I mean, here comes the four. DJ Mitzel here on the outside with Len McNeese. I was able to get around the 31, but not much time lost by the group here. Kind of see everybody kind of working together. Ryan Kelly down to that inside, probably going to sniff some air out here. So good stop there for the second group to kind of catch up to the broken up exit of the first group of cars, but that's going to put DJ Mitzel out front here with Len McNeese pushing. I always see a good showing by Len McNeese at these super speedways for sure. Top awesome in that skills machine, just working together here, and this is what they need to do. They need to stay together, but if they get any more unorganized, they could find themselves all piled back up again here a little bit. You can see the Red Bull machine coming out, hopefully be able to get tucked in underneath somebody there, but you see Dalton Kilrow there with this time with John Garrett. So even the cars that fit last do look like they seem they're going to fit in. At least number 49 of Cole Spalding is going to fit back there, and we'll go back there with Michael Taylor. Should be able to sniff enough air, hopefully, off the 17 there, Carl, and hopefully be able to.
The biggest part right here.
Yeah.
The scariest part right there for Michael Taylor is when you come out and you see the field going by you, and you're just watching that time tick, 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 tick away, and you got to keep that thing under 1 second to get any kind of sniff of the draft. Right now, I'm seeing it at 1 second, and it's still dropping, Jimmy. It's down now to 1.10 seconds for Michael Taylor. He may have lost this draft, and if that's the case, it's going to be a long race where I see Cole Spalding there up at the top. Maybe he'll be able to drop down there and help out the 98 there, Michael Taylor, but looks like he's just going to help himself to the draft in front, and the time is just dropping more and more. Already 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. I mean, it drops extremely fast here without being in the draft from everybody else, but it looks like we're down to two packs. It's really not as spread out as we typically see. We got the big pack here at the front, all the way down to 10th place, Tim Lee, and then 11th through 16th is where your second pack is led by Brandon Meyer. But so far, so good. We are 32 laps into this race, and Ryan Kelly, Joe Sullivan, Michael Pratt, DJ Mitzel, Len McNeese are your top five. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that we have to offer here at CRN. And I want to thank our sponsors, S&P Lemonade, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs, and Goldline Guardians.
Yeah, this second group has to stay super organized, stay streamlined, get kind of stay broken behind that draft. They're kind of sitting right there. They're not losing anything, but they need to They're actually gaining a little bit here and there, but they need to stay super organized, super tight, like, front and back. Don't bobble left and right too much. Get that streamline going. What's helping these drivers here in the second group, as they're slowly but slowly catching that next group, is that the fact that the front group is too wide, Carl.
Yeah, and that too wide, that little bit of side draft here and there from that front pack is kind of what's, it pulls one line back and then it pulls the other line back and just kind of keeps going back and forth, and they basically slowly work their way back to this group. It's 1.5 seconds right now, but the time's slowly going down. As long as this field right here can stay together, they should be able to catch up to the bigger pack here. Maybe in a couple laps they'll finally get a sniff of that draft at the front, but it keeps ebbing and flowing. It all depends on how much battling there is at that front pack, because if that front pack gets lined up, they've obviously got more cars. They got 10 cars in that group compared to this group right here only having 7. But the man that's got one-man group, Michael Taylor, it's got a feel for him. I mean, you see the track map and how far off he's fallen already. Man, in desperate need of a caution for sure.
Yeah, he would love to see a caution, hopefully before he goes a lap down. But, if he goes a lap down, at least he'd be the lucky dog, I would hope. It's lonely for the number 98 back there, and it's not the place you want to be. Just missed the draft a little bit. You've seen Cole Spalding at number 49. He kind of went to the back there, maybe thought about going back there and helping the 98, but he would have been in the same boat. So it just stinks that they they broke that draft here. But that's what happens with green flag pit stops. How well can all the drivers execute? And if you just slip up just a little bit, you find yourself without a buddy. As the 98 is right here, but. Right now, this second group here is back 1 second, so a nice little gap there in case something happens in front of them. But they have got to that draft, and now everything's closing up. As you see that yellow number, 0.9, will not be but another half a lap, and they'll be right back up here in the mix. So good job here by the second group, keeping things together, not getting too excited. We're on lap number 36. Ryan Kelly is your leader, and then number 13, Orange Hugger Machine, and Joe Sullivan up there as well in P number 2. Todd Poston in 3rd, John Garrett, Tyler Hilton for your top 5. Then you got Tim Lee, Dalton Kilrow, Michael Pratt, DJ Bitzel, Doug McNeese for your top 10 currently.
So far, so good. We've gotten our way through the first good chunk of this race. Still got pretty much the same amount of laps to go before we really should see some real hard racing, some jockeying for position. I mean, we've seen the drivers swapping some positions, going 3 wide here and there, but it wasn't as intense as they could be. They could certainly go after it a little bit harder than they did, and I'm sure we'll see that at some point as we get back to some more 3 wide racing here, with Ryan Kelly leading on that top line. And in the middle line, you got Tim Lee, and then on the bottom line, I believe, looks like the double zero there, Gordon Larson. So 3 lines formed up right now, and 16 out of the 17 drivers all locked in here together. And Jimmy, it's something you don't see that often here at the super speedways. You go through a green flag pit stop, and the field pretty much all stays together. Normally, you got little pockets of 2, 3 cars here and there throughout the track, because all it takes is just a couple tenths here entering, a couple tenths there exiting, and you can lose a good amount of track position. I mean, you look from first place back to 16th place right now is covered in about a second, 1.2 seconds maybe. Unless I'm not doing the math there. Yeah, it looks like about a 1.2 seconds. So I mean, it's very minuscule. So if you lose 0.3 of a second coming into the pits because you're just being a little bit more tentative and making sure you get that truck load up in time, and then you're just not as aggressive on the exit, and maybe lose another 0.2 of a second right there. If you're back here in 8th, 9th, 10th position, that half a second takes you right out of this pack.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. You know, we see it there. Everybody's within a second of each other from first to 16th, and obviously spread out three distinct groups. You got high line, middle line, low line, and all kind of in the formation at the moment, trying to get that momentum and getting those runs, being smooth with their steering inputs, getting some good pushes here. But like you said, they're just kind of letting some of this race kind of run out here, and it's some leagues as fun as they like out here. At 71 diving down to the inside, so kind of breaking things up even more. It's going to give them a chance to maybe get out front there, but they're going to need to pick up that inside line to get that momentum going here. But closing things down, 71. Oh, Brandon Meyer looking to charge to the front here and get a lap led there, and being followed closely by the 49 that we thought was going to kind of maybe miss out. I was able to pick that draft up coming out here. And Carl, you know, go back to like how this field is so close right now, and you know, doing a green flag pit stop and coming out here, it just kind of says what this league's about, you know, and the talent that's out here. You know, anybody. I know we get some of these other drivers; they seem to be up front more often than not. You know, for the other tracks, but you know, the talent is still here. You know, it's just, you know, that 1 week or something, maybe somebody learns something, picks something up, changes their driving style just a little bit. You never know when you'll find your next sim racer, you know, leading and winning races here, especially at VVR. But 71 going off.
So he's going to be going down to the field here again. He did it a lot in the last run as well. It's going to be one of those drivers, Brandon Muir, that wants to just be in the back of the field, maybe saving a little bit of fuel. But yeah, it's great to have the talent that they have here, but that also compounds the issues when you make that one little mistake. That one little mistake now, you know, doesn't put you back with another group that's, you know, a mid-pack group or a backpack group that you can kind of catch up with and run with. If you miss out, you miss out big time. And I mean, you look at the difference right now with the 49 of Cole Spaulding and the 98 of Michael Taylor after 10 laps since they came into the pits. You got the 49 up here in the front pack, and Michael Taylor about 24 seconds behind him in just 10 laps. So I mean, it's massive losses for not being in the draft here. You can't necessarily just, you know, make passes with the draft. You need to do the passes with a partner. You need some good runs to get some passes done here, or even use a side draft. But not having the draft at all, that's where it's an absolute killer. But right now we are past the halfway point, Jimmy. We still got about 40 laps to go here at Talladega, but while we got a chance, we step aside to give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it around Dega.
Thank you.
sights and sounds here and getting up close and personal at the Virtual Velocity Racing Truck Series presented by S&P Lemonade. Once again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. As that got a little tasty right there. Ryan Kelly just wanted a little sip of that S&P Lemonade on the back of Tim Lee's truck, but almost got a whole face full of it. But either way, we keep on trucking here. Should be coming up on the next round of pit stops within maybe the next 5 to 10 laps here, I would say, to complete that second and final pit stop. But great racing here as usual. Green all the way from the beginning here so far, back out front for the 66 of 66 of John Garrett being pushed still by the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. Certainly got something working here tonight with those two. The 72 now of Mike Hasty was at the back of the pack, and he heard me that he was going to be late with that pizza, and he's got the number 72 moving up there towards the front of the field. The 6 of Eric Blunt, this is the most we've seen him at the front of a field in a long time, because typically he's the one that likes to hang back there and stretch that fuel run out as much as possible. You can't do that really on a super speedway unless you have some other drivers doing the exact same thing as you. It's one where you can't just have your own strategy, or you could be like Michael Taylor. He didn't have his own strategy, but he doesn't have any friends right now, and his friends will certainly be joining him at some point here, lapping him, because he's already down one lap. He already came in and made his pit stop on lap number 52 to get him to the end of this race, but everyone else is still going to come in.
Yeah, it's everybody kind of waiting, but back there by himself, nobody to help, just foot on the floor. These drivers here that are kind of in line are able to, lift just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, but here comes a set of pit stops. Yay!
Oh, we got some aggressive entries on this one.
Oh,
and there's one. The 31 ends up hooking the 17. And this is where the 17's got to be extremely quick, and maybe there's a situation where if you thought about taking tires now, you don't have time to. You got to take fuel only just to stick with this field. Let's see everybody peel into the pits, all but Ryan Kelly and Joe Sullivan. They stay out here for one more lap.
And they're going to have to make their way around and come right in. I mean, they got left out to lunch here, and they need to, we've seen it work with Spalding and Taylor, but one messed up just a little bit in pits, so they're going to have to do it quick and probably this time by as the rest of the field is down and out. So here comes the 13 and the 15 bringing it in. Kelly hot and heavy there. He's going to push it as hard as he can. Joel Sullivan with a nice entry. See if they got black flags. No black flags for those drivers coming in. Now it's all about getting in that pit stop. Don't slide through it. Execute it and get out as quick as possible as the field is winding up here. So we need to quickly get those trucks in and out. But you see up front, you got the 66 and the 41, the 84 and the 49 this time not coming in by himself. So yeah, good job there by Cole Spalding, sitting in currently in fourth place as they'll come by. And it does look like the 13 is rolling, 15 is rolling, but is it enough to catch some of the field here? Because John Garrett out front still with that number 41 pushing.
For the 15 going to get past right there. That's Joe Sullivan falling back. You should see the 13 on the screen here in a moment. Joe Sullivan should be able to join up with one of the other fields here that's going to be catching him in a moment. See Ryan Kelly out front right now, just getting past, and he's going to try and latch on to that front breakaway pack and make it a 5-truck breakaway. Tucks in behind Spalding. You keep an eye on the time. 0.45. It looks like it's starting to finally even out here, and he'll be good. He'll be able to hold on. It might take him a little bit here to reel him in. It's still going up there, 0.55, almost 0.6. But he does have enough of a sniff now that he'll be able to start reeling it back in, I would think, sooner than later. But it's a worrisome time when that happens and you come out of the pits, especially when you're there like the N13 all by himself trying to figure out a way to get in there. You see the 15 has rejoined the field here. The next group of trucks, a good-sized group here, and he gets in behind the 77 of Michael Pratt as they try and work their way back and catch up to the field here. And this is enough of a group here. If they can keep this thing straight, they may be able to once again run down that front field of 5, but they're going to have to get linked in here pretty quickly, not get to any kind of battling. They got to keep it flowing here quick.
Yeah, this is a zero battle situation here for the next 23 laps, at least to try to catch up there at 2.1 seconds, and it's still growing. So that front pack doing what they need to do, just kind of hanging in there. Ryan Kelly is the last one, and trying desperately to stay right there. He's at that 0.4, so I'm sure he's got the pedal to the metal, trying to keep that sniff on. The number 49 of Cole Spalding sitting in 4th. If not, it could be a four truck race to the end, and you never know what can happen here. I mean, these top 4 are looking good, but you have the likes of Dalton Kilrow in there, and you have Ryan Kelly at the end. So there's the points battle here for the championship.
Yeah, surprise.
Still here, right? So the others are trying to get a win. I'm sure John Garrett would love to get a win here tonight at Talladega. It's been a while since I talked to John. If you're looking to see John's POV, you can visit him over there at on Twitch. I think it's just John Garrett, if I'm not mistaken. You'll find him over there streaming. Typically, check out and see what's going on with John. I did drop a like follow from Twitch. They have followers and not subscribers. Don't cost you anything, but enough to support him over there. Give him another follow and see what John's doing out over there on Twitch. But we are on lap. We have 21 laps to go. John Garrett is your leader over Dalton Kilrow, Len McNeese, Cole Spalding, Ryan Kelly for your top 5, and then leading the second pack now, kind of busting up a little bit, which I'm kind of surprised they decided to do. It's falling back 3.4 seconds here. So they need to kind of figure it out and just fall in line. If not, this will be your second group here. But Carl, this is the breakdown of how pit stops kind of went for everybody. So now you got 2 distinct groups out there, and then back to Gordon Larson. Obviously, seen get involved. Henry Gardini had that slide, but kind of shocking to see the 72 of Mike Hasty back there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Hasty. Certainly a slower pit stop for Hasty, but he's they've at least formed a little friendship here, and can hopefully do something to just stay together here and at least get each other a little bit of a draft. But they would certainly need a caution to get up there and pass any kind of other trucks out there. This second group still getting to work on battling, and it's costing them dearly. It's now 4 seconds between Kelly and Blunt, between 5th and 6th, so it's not looking good for them to have any kind of chance to catch back up. They got to get lined up here, line up quickly, and not do anything but push each other. But it just seems like there's too much dancing around from some of these trucks, and whether they're trying to pass each other or not, whether they're trying to figure out who's got the best truck to push from the front of the field and who's better at being pushed. I don't know what the case is here, but you see right there, still unwilling to line this thing back up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the best we could do here back in this group would be to get AFP number 6. Obviously got 19 laps, still got time, but that time is growing between that front pack, and this is why the side-by-side action, kind of bouncing around. It does take a lot of discipline, and it's hard to say, hey, drivers don't race. But if you want a chance at that top 5 right now, that's what you'd have to do. You have to get in a single file and work together, be as streamlined as possible, and get those trucks moving to the front. But the trucks up front are streamlined, so these top 5 are just nose to tail, about as close as we can get. And I'm sure we'll see them like this until, maybe 4 or 5 laps to go, maybe even 2, or even 1 to see how they finish out. But right now, this looks like to be your top 5 as long as it stays green. John Garrett, Dalton Kilrow, Len McNeese, Cole Spalding, Ryan Kelly, as the rest of the field is trying to figure it out, see if they can catch up.
streaming if you want to check out the other broadcast that is just going up right now for the Core GT series, as they are at Monza tonight, and only a 1% chance of rain, Jimmy. So I would think they should be safe. I mean, you never know. One raindrop could spell somebody's doom at one of these tracks. But as I said, next week, 100% chance of rain. It's going to be rough at Fuji next week for the Core GT series. But certainly, feel free to do a little picture-in-picture if you can, and if you got multiple screens like some of us are blessed to have, put one up on each screen, and you got double the race into action here on CRN.
Yeah, I got too many screens. Sometimes I'll have one up on my TV, and then I got 4 monitors, so I can have a race on each. It's then just be switching between turning one off and the other one on just to listen to them. But yeah, it's always fun. My wife kind of teases me, but we have a truck around, and some answers have been, or some pairs have been answered by some drivers as a caution is going to fly, as Michael Pratt gets involved here with Tim Lee, it looks like. So go back here and see what happened. And it's already happened, as you see it happening on the track. So we'll just back up and see exactly what happened here. Maybe just a bad push there. Go over to this one. And we're coming across start finish line. And heading down into turn 1. 31 just had a little bit more momentum, gets underneath the 77. And kind of gets together there right in front of the 31. 71 Brandon Meyer getting collected there as well. And those trucks stayed out at the bottom and then get slid up into the corner, collecting the number 98. Ends up hitting Tim Lee.
Right there. Yep.
And then Joe Sullivan able to take evasive action, going to go down. But you see a few trucks sliding around there. Tim Lee facing the wrong way, waiting for things to happen. But our first caution of the night here comes down with only 15 laps to go, Carl. So, I mean, unless you were sliding and tore up your tires or whatnot, everybody should be good to go here still. So we'll even get Michael Taylor should get back on the lead lap here with a lucky dog. So finally, the bad pit stop has been erased there for the number 98, and as long as he wasn't involved. And
I believe he was involved, unfortunately. I think he was one of the trucks that was right there pushing the incident there. So he's hoping everybody decides to come into the pits here to get some fresh tires just because, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. Just some trucks coming in to get some repairs. So I don't think he's going to be a lucky dog. Looks like Tim Lee is going to pick up a black flag as well. I'm not sure why he ended up getting the black flag, but either way, it's going to bring us under our first caution here of the night with about 15 laps remaining in this race, and it's going to whoa everybody up. It's going to give away that 4-second lead at the top 5 half. Caution about cursing about this here for sure, but it'll certainly make it a lot more interesting for us here in the booth.
Yeah, kind of. Well, Tim Lee is in and out for sure. So whatever black flag they got, maybe it's just. Well, that black flag's gone now, so hopefully Meyer and Pratt are able to have their black flags gone as well. So not quite sure what happened here. It does look like some black flags are being cleared, the admins, and so maybe just going to clear them up here tonight and let them go. We'll see if Myers and Pratt's black flags are cleared as well. Not quite sure why they all got black flags. It looked like they came down. Maybe they came down into a closed pit. I do not know, but we're gonna start things back up here again shortly. And but right now your leader is John Garrett, Don Kilrow up there, Len McNeese, Cole Spaulding, and Ryan Kelly for your top 5. Eric Blount, DJ Mitzel, Todd Poston, Tyler Hilton, Joe Sullivan, Gordon Larson, Mike Hasty, Hemi Gardini getting back out there as well, Tim Lee, Brandon Meyer, Michael Pratt, and Michael Taylor. So it does look like the black flags have been cleared, so get them trucks back out there and battling here. It's like I said, they might have come down. Maybe the lane was closed or something. Who knows? It's kind of weird how iRacing kind of gets these things, and you're trying to just get that. Your truck might be in bad shape. You just want to get it down there, but we'll head around the track at least one more time, as the trucks are now gaining back up in the field. The 71 of Brandon Meyer coming around turn number 4 to catch up to the back, and along with Michael Pratt. Michael Taylor, unfortunately, being involved. He's going to come down and probably get some repairs done, and maybe hope for another caution. I thought maybe he had a chance there, but being involved, not going to get that lucky dog for him. I think Carl's back.
Yep, just had to take care of some admin duties there and relay the situation for the incident there. But yep, getting ready to get this thing back underway as pace car lights are out, and it looks like the sun is setting earlier a little bit. The track is, or the time is not like 4x or anything like that, because it's 5:07 right now, Jimmy. We still got plenty of sunlight to get this thing done. Luckily, because there's lights at Daytona, there's not lights at Talladega. No. So, and I know it looks like it, but there's no lights on these trucks either, Jimmy.
No, just some fancy stickers. You can see the sky is partly cloudy out there right now. So, but yeah, the sun down near the horizon for sure. But we'll get this thing in hopefully, and if not, might be fun to see how it would be in the dark.
Game is called due to darkness.
yeah, race is called due to darkness. I'm pretty sure we entered a Michigan race in court where it was set to nighttime instead of daytime.
Maybe.
It was pretty interesting. I will say, if you have the option.
Was it CTSVs, I think, as well? No, it wasn't. Was it? Actually, no. I think we did do something at night. Might have been a track that like Talladega or something like that with the CTSVs, and all we had was the headlights. But
the only thing that could help you is if you turned on your track line. The game or sim, I should say. There's an actual virtual line that you can put on the track to help newer drivers or somebody very, very new to racing, to kind of give an idea where the race line is at. So you get these like green dashes and like where you're supposed to be in the throttle, and then white where you're supposed to be off, and then red obviously for your braking zone. It can help. I used it a long time ago, especially for the new tracks I've never been at, and it did help. But they don't need to hear plenty of sim racing professionals out here, but John Garrett's going to get it underway here, get things rolling. Going down to the inside here for this one, Carl, and we'll see how long and how well these three have been like glued to each other's bumper here. Pretty much all race. It's been the 66, the 84, and the 41 in some way, shape, or form or order, and trying to kind of maybe pull away, but draft's too strong and too many trucks behind them. So leading the next line of trucks, obviously the 13 of Ryan Kelly, going to be pushed there by DJ Mitchell, and the 31 of Todd Boston.
A good little breakaway here. When I was down there in the admin room, we were some more asking for the top 8 to get a black flag, but I had to hold my ground and then tell them no. As we should have a good one lining up for everyone. We got 11 laps to go right now. Already going to 3 wide. It's not go time yet, Jimmy. It's getting a little bit closer to it. Probably another 5 laps yet until you really start needing to be in the right position to make that final charge. Line up with your teammates if you have any out there. Make sure you're in the line that you want to be in, because some lines are better than others. We've seen here tonight is got some diving around here, and I don't know about 4 wide. It looks like Joe Sullivan's going to back out of that one. I thought he was going to go 4 wide for a second. But at the front of the field now, we will see the 13 of Ryan Kelly. We see the 66 still of John Garrett, still being pushed by Len McNeese, but it's starting to get a little more racy here at Dega.
Yeah, obviously 10 laps to go, Carl. So now it's like, all right, if I'm in the back, I might want to start making a few moves to give myself the opportunity to kind of get up there. And right now, these drivers are really trying to find that line. If you're like Joe Sullivan in the 15, you're just boxed in. So just hold your line, stay behind the guy in front of you, and hopefully things can kind of happen for you. The outside line and the inside line, but everybody kind of besides right now the 66 has got kind of blocked in just a little bit, or without going 4 wide and then taking that chance. And if you're up front, the 4 wide does look good, but leading the pack here is still 66, doing what he can to hold off the pack. But yeah, John Garrett out front. You got 41 on the outside of Dalton Kilrow, and then you have Ryan Kelly out on the inside. So 3 distinct lines here. How's this thing gonna handle? A lot of tight racing here. That right there is almost a push and a pusher there between the 02 and 84. 84 backs off just a little bit as John Garrett maybe did a little wiggle or something there, but you can see middle line kind of getting left behind at the moment. Dalton Kilrow getting out front there, but you got that orange machine, orange 13 down to the inside. Carl, these two here, obviously very fast race car drivers, and you see them battle on each other's track, but how important is it right now to have somebody have your backside and the willing to push one of those trucks up front?
Well, the trucks that are behind them, I mean, they're kind of sacrificing themselves, because those drivers out front right now, the 13, the 41, they're selfish, man. They just won't let anybody else have a chance at these wins. I mean, up here at the front, leading 2 of the 3 lines out here. I mean, John Garrett at least in 4th place in points. Looking for a win out there. God forbid one of the other guys out here gets a win. So we'll see how long the friendships last here between the 49 and the 4, and how long they're willing to push these drivers out here, and see if they push them to another win, or if they push them out just far enough that they can make that late move and try and steal a win right away from them.
Tight back there between 84 and 2. That center line's a tough place to be right now, and it's allowing the inside line to kind of pick up. And I'm wondering if the temperature change has changed the preferred line here. We're down to 7 laps to go this time by. You see those outside lines just kind of falling to the wayside. It wasn't a few laps. The 41 was right up alongside for the lead. So things kind of breaking away. Now the 41's got to work and hopefully gather some of those drivers from the back and get a run going to get the 41 back to the front. But Dalton Kilrow falls back all the way to 14th, and they're not spread out very far. But I guess the inside, Carl, is as it can be a dangerous place to be, especially leading the race, people going around or leaving you out there to dry. Typically, people will go down to the inside to push. So if you're on that outside, people will tend to kind of let you alone or go around you, and then you're stuck in the middle. So I guess that's one maybe good point or thing about the inside line. But right now, that inside line trying to make a little breakaway, get rid of some of the rest of the 10 cars back there behind the 71 of Brian Meyer. You see him 3 wide back there, and a little more unorganized back there. Joe Sullivan and Hemi Gardini got Len McNeese back there, Tyler Hilton in the 02. So yeah, there's a lot of good drivers back there, but right now just kind of unorganized at the moment, and nobody to pull them along as they're battling 3 wide. I think Gardini's got that draft, though. He's going to catch up to Brandon Meyer and move him back up there into the top 7. Biggest mover of the race, though, Carl, I haven't mentioned it all race because everybody keeps moving around so much, is Todd Boston at 10 spots at that number 31 skill.
I mean, to me, the biggest mover of the race is the man that's in 7th place right now. I know he's only up 7 spots, but he's still in the race. He's still trucking along here. He's still on the lead lap. He's still clean. I refuse to say his name because I don't want to have a chance of jinxing him. You show him on the screen as much as you want. You take that onus on you, but heck of a drive right now. And maybe it's a new paint scheme. Maybe that's all he needed was a fresh paint to survive one of these races, at least at this point. I mean, it's a good 75% of the race done right now as we're about to complete lap number 76. It's going to be 4 laps to go here at the line. And Jimmy, I think we're getting into the go time right about now.
Yeah, heavy Gurney go up and give a little door check there about 41 as they go across the start finish line down right before the start finish line, right where it kind of hooks a little bit there in the tri-oval area. There's like the pavement's kind of bumpy, so when you're driving down there, it shimmies the truck a little bit, and sometimes it could feel pretty funny.
Doesn't feel nice.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel nice at all. Yeah, the whole track is totally smooth until you get to that point. But all right, Ryan Kelly getting left out there, and
that's going to be a big one there.
Oh, no.
As I see the back bumper lid of the 00 of Gordon Larson get taken off. And then got him extremely loose, and a big one here at Dega. Looks like we got Len McNeese, John Garrett, both with a meatball flag. It's going to be a late race caution. This should take us into a green-white checker. And you see major net code there between the 00 and the 15. They might have made contact, but it was a contact right here. That I don't know if it was pushing the pusher there. If the 77 got into the 72, it was a 72 that clearly gave a big shot there to the 00 of Gordon Larson, got him loose, and it's not where you want to be, right in the middle of all the pack right there. It looked like Dalton Kilroe was going to be able to avoid it going down to the bottom, but unfortunately spins his truck out. The 02 gets involved. Pretty much everybody from fourth place on back involved in this incident, one way, shape, or form, except Michael. The 98. The 98.
I'm not touching that.
He's like, I'm not getting involved in this one. I want my damn lap back, please.
Yeah, he's finally prayers answered here at this one, just slowing down. Avoiding everybody now just to not get into those trucks, and please say he misses that. Whew. And he does. But those trucks are kind of going down. I think he was getting ready to go to the outside, but Joe Sullivan and John Garrett holding the brakes and allowing the 98 to go on by. But yeah, Carl, pit road should be busy here, to hopefully allow some of these drivers that have meatball flags to get those cleared. Len McNeese and John Garrett, the ones with them, and they were two of the trucks that were up front pretty much all night long. So they're going to have to come down to pits, get their vehicles serviced, and hopefully get a fast repair if they have it. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they come out here. But in typical plate racing fashion, a big one happens here at the end. It's going to wind things up here for their one green-white checkered flag. And it takes about a whole lap in order to get these cars spun up. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting last lap as DJ Mitchell, your pole sitter, is back out front with Todd Posner, Brandon Meyer for your top three. And then Ryan Kelly sitting in fourth with Michael Pratt in fifth. Cole Spaulding, Tim Lee, all staying out. The rest of the field going in. Eric Blount, Henry Garradini, John Garrett, Joe Sullivan, Gordon Larson, Len McNeese, Mike Casey, Dalton Kilroe, and Tyler Hilton. Hopefully Michael Taylor will get his lap back here. He's only one lap down. Hopefully he'll get the wave around this time by. It just takes iRacing a hot minute to say, hey, you can go. So he'll have to get on that loud pedal and start flooring it so he can get around this 2.66 mile track here and get back on the lead lap. And you never know, that 98 has a chance. Actually, all 17 drivers will have a chance to get the win here. Just who's it going to be? Carl off doing admin duties as the big one happened here, trying to figure things out. And Carl does some of the admining or trackside admin duties for the Virtual Velocity Racing League. Trying to decipher who did what and what happened, who gets an EOL, blah blah blah. And so the VVR can take those courses of action as all them drivers are in the truck. So it's always good to have a helping hand to kind of help decipher things and assist Tim Lee, as Tim Lee loves to get out here when he can and race. He's been doing pretty good here tonight. Had a good run up front there for a while. He's actually up 9 spots. So Tim Lee sitting in 7th place at the moment. Your biggest mover of the race, and no shocker, is Michael Pratt in 5th, but Todd Boston still has the number 31 up here, currently in a podium position, right behind DJ Mitchell.
Should be lights out on the pace car this time by, and sure enough, we will get our one and only attempt at a green-white checker. Will we get to see the checker flag under green flag conditions here tonight, or will we have to settle for another yellow coming late in this race and determining the winner here under yellow flag conditions? Definitely don't want to see that for sure. I want to see this thing finish under green. They did such a good job pretty much all through the night here, but pretty crazy how many trucks had to come into pit lane there to get some kind of service done, whether it's a fast repair or if they use it already, maybe coming in there and just getting as much repaired as possible. But DJ Mitzel, Todd Boston on the front row here. Question is, how long did 71 and 13 hang out behind them? When do they go to make a move? We still got plenty of time to do that. I know it's a green-white checkered, but that's still a long way. I mean, you got about a little over 5 miles to try and make a decision on when to go, where to go, who's going to go with you. There's a lot to play out here.
Yeah, the thing is, coming out of turn number 4 is such a long run down to the start-finish line. It's past the tri-oval. There's a lot of time to take a run and make it happen here tonight. I think it's going to be extremely close between these drivers trying to get some points here tonight, and obviously anybody has a chance. So you never know when the next big one's going to happen. Could happen coming out of turn number 4, and you could have somebody that's sitting mid-pack, be the victor here, just depending on when it happens here and how aggressive some of these front drivers are here defending those positions. But pace car is in, and we're gonna get this thing back going green here momentarily.
Our last restart of the night here. It's our one and only green-white checkered, and we'll see who's got the hot shoe to finish this thing out. Who is going to get the win? Will it be a third win for Ryan Kelly? Will somehow Dalton Kilroe find a way to get up there and get his second win? Or we have a new winner here this season for race number 4. Green flag back in the air. Can they make it back and get the white flag? If they do, then we will see the checker flag on the green flag conditions. If we get a yellow before we hit the white, that will end this thing. As you see, the trucks already pushing the pusher all the way through this thing to try and get one of these lines to run. And a little bump there with Tim Lee. They're 4 wide as Lee tries to get himself back up onto the track. And unfortunately, he's going to fall back to the back of this field. Meanwhile, at the front, 3 wide as the 3 shoots down to the bottom here around the 4. Get some help there from the 71 to get around. Now side by side, little contact there between the 4 and the 71. Jimmy, they still got a while to get back to that line to try and get that white flag. Yeah, these trucks are still winding up, Carl. They're coming down around that start-finish line here this time by, and it's going to be Ryan Kelly out front, but they're not going to hold too long. Joe Sullivan coming down. There's enough room. He's able to stay there. Got to side draft that upper lane there just a little bit, but obviously the new guy. So can he get enough side draft and enough push there from the 31? Hopefully get that middle line going. Does look like Ryan Kelly's getting a good push there by Spalding, but the inside and Dalton Kilroe ends up pushing the 77.
Down the backstretch they go, heading down into turn number 3. Right now it is Ryan Kelly out front. Cole Spalding's got a good push going. Joe Sullivan's right there as well, trying to look for that opportunity at 31, but just right on that bumper, pushing through the corner. It's not recommended, but it's the last lap as they come around here to the start-finish line.
They're going to leave him out there. It's going to be 3 wide for second place. That's going to help out Ryan Kelly, as that's going to stall the momentum here. And Cole Spalding is going to get The free case of beer, I'm assuming here from Ryan Kelly, as it gets Kelly's third win of the season. Some wrecking after the start-finish line here tonight. But how about that? Ryan Kelly ends up getting his third win of the season here, wins 3 out of the first 4 races. Cole Spaulding coming home in second. Joe Sullivan on his VVR debut had a run, but they left him out to dry there coming out of turn number 3, and that really cost everybody a chance to get up there and get past the 13, as he is going to finish in third. Top Poston, DJ Mitchell for your top 5. Kilroe, Mir, Giardini, top 10. I almost feel like he needs an interview just because he got the top 10 here tonight. Mike Hasty and Tim Lee rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, it's obviously a great race there, right down to the end. Drivers trying to make things work and trying to push through corners, and they have to sit almost perfectly on them bumpers to do that. And obviously a little bit of an incident at the end, as expected, unfortunately, at super speedways. But like you said, Ryan Kelly, your winner here tonight over Cole Spaulding with that great push. That's not happening. Ryan Kelly's not getting that win without that 49 here tonight. So I'm sure we'll hear plenty thanks from Ryan for Cole. Joe Sullivan, like I said, on debut, gets AP number 3, being left out to drive. No one to help push, trying to get a run on the other 2. But Todd Poston in that 31 finishes in 4th. DJ Bitzel finished in 5th. And Dalton Kilroe back in 6th. Brandon Meyer back in 7th. Amy Giardini finishes in the top 10, like you said. So congratulations, Amy. You did it. Get there in 8th place. Mike Hasty in 9th. Tim Lee with a top 10. And then Gordon Larson in 11th. Eric Blount 12th. Tyler Hill in 13th. John Garrett, unfortunately, finishes back on 14th. Glenn McNeese, again, had a great race all night and finishes back in 15th. Michael Pratt finishes back in 16th. And Michael Taylor, still 1 lap down and wasn't able to recover from the beginning, and finishes in 17th.
Thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything we have to offer here at CRN. I want to thank our sponsors of Forward Screen Printing, Gold Line Guardians, and Hilton Crafts and Designs, along with S&P Lemonade for everything that they do here for Virtual Velocity Racing. But we need to get our top 3 here in for their interviews, and we're going to go ahead and start with the newcomer here, and that's the 15 of Joe Sullivan. Joe, you come in here, you make your debut, and you had a heck of a run out of turn number 3. We know you certainly know how to handle any vehicle here on these super speedways. You come in here, and if they had not let you kind of hang out to dry out of turn number 3, you might have had the run you needed.
Yeah, we in these situations, you just got to put yourself in that spot where you think you can make a run at it to the end there, and I feel like we did that, but the 31 had other plans, which, I mean, he's racing for the win too, so it's no hard feelings, but you just try to be there at the end, and that was fun. That was I can't believe we went green for so long. That was I needed a break for a second, so I'm glad that caution came out, but I'm sweating over here. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm glad to take home P3 here in my debut.
Well, welcome to VVR. There's plenty of green flag racing here for you. Maybe you need to get yourself an S&P Lemonade, one of the sponsors here, and cool off a little bit. But I mean, talk to me about the race and stuff. It looked like everything kind of settled down nicely. When you guys were out there racing. I know it never feels non-hectic out there at Talladega, but I mean, you guys made it through two green flag pit stops here tonight, and the second one kind of spread everybody out. But how about the first one? Everybody coming in, no black flags, and eventually 16 out of the 17 cars are still together.
Yeah, if you can go through 2 full runs and get green flag stops at super speedways, I mean, that's just phenomenal racing. I mean, that's a lot of give and take, and which you need to keep it green. And during that, right before that, we came to the pit on the second time. Me and the 13 I think we were just controlling the race. I was just pushing him just enough, and some guys were trying to come down on the inside on us, but I don't think I've ever really raced the trucks here, and the top line was so dominant like that. I don't ever recall that, but it was working for us, and I think the 31 was right behind us too. So us 3 was just kind of controlling the race right there. These trucks get hot so fast that you have to get it some air, and you have to really kind of control the temperature and control the pushing. It's not just a Sunday cruise out there. I mean, there's a lot going on out there in the truck. So I wish we wouldn't get so hot so fast, so we can maybe do a little bit more racing. But it was still. I mean, I don't think I could ask for much better.
Well, we again know you know your way around super speedways, and no surprise that you find yourself up here on the top 3 podium for tonight. But next week you head to another trioval, but Iowa is nothing like Talladega. Any thoughts on how you're going to tackle Iowa?
Yeah, I'm going to put in some extra work, that's for sure. Just to be try to keep up some speed. But I've been having some good success in the trucks lately. So we'll see if I can. We'll see what happens. You never know. So we'll just go to Iowa and see what happens, I guess. But it's been fun. Thanks for Tim for letting me in the league, and everybody else, all the drivers out there tonight, and you guys for broadcasting. Man, it was. If I smoked, I feel like I need to go get a cigarette right now. It's it was one of them races. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, definitely get yourself a drink before we let you go. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
No, you guys definitely. I think my family was actually upstairs watching, so I'm glad so they got to see a show there. So shout out to them, and shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody here at VVR, and yeah, glad to be here. I mean, if these races are like this, which I've been watching them. I told Tim before you pulled me here that I've been kind of watching more this season than in the past, and it's been really clean and green, and I can get down with that kind of racing. So I'm glad to be here, and we'll head to Iowa and see what that gets for us.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the podium here on your debut. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Iowa.
All right, we'll see you, boys.
That is your third place finish here tonight, the 15 of Joe Sullivan. Second place here tonight, and I think the man that needs a beverage more than anybody else, and I think Ryan Kelly needs to be buying it for him, and that's the 49 of Cole Spaulding.
Hey, Cole, Jimmy Carl up in the booth, Cappy.
Yeah, Cappy.
Welcome to the booth, man. I think it's the first time we've had a Red Bull machine up in the booth, as a matter of fact. But out there tonight, you did a fantastic job. Obviously, pushing the heck out of Ryan Kelly there and getting yourself a second place finish. But there was a point in the race where you came down together with Michael Taylor, and you came out just a little bit quicker than he did, and you were able to catch that draft and be able to tag along and stay in the lead lap here tonight, and which ultimately put you in this position. So I thought for sure you were a goner during that pit stop, but it worked out for you. So that was good to see. But overall, give us a little rundown of the race tonight, because it was a real close race in pretty much the entire race.
Oh yeah. Shoot, I don't know where to start. I didn't even think I'd be up here. That pit stop I went down with Michael Taylor, I genuinely thought I was screwed. But turns out I got more lives than the cat, so I just barely caught just a little bit, just enough draft to catch back up to the field, and I just kind of hung out with them and be caught up to the lead pack, and I was like, "Hot damn, I might have a chance."
Definitely had a chance, and your commitment to the back bumper of the 13 here tonight was probably far more than I've seen from a lot of drivers. I know it takes a lot to, kind of like, if I tuck out, do I have a chance at the win here tonight? Was there any thought in your mind to leaving that bumper to try to snag the win here tonight?
No, I kind of had a bad start to this season, so I was hoping for a top 5, and staying good, Ryan Curry, that's my best chance at it. And I was like, you know what, heck with it. There's an opportunity. I'm either gonna get second place, or I'm just gonna blow it up and be part of the highlight reel,
Well, you did a fantastic job, and your commitment is by far none one of the best I've seen to helping out a league mate. So congratulations on your second place finish, man. We'll give you some time for any shouts you might have in at number 49.
Oh, thank you. Shoot, I'd like to shout out to Michael Pratt. Me and him have been racing together a bit. It's kind of funny. He like to start at the back, because he doesn't qualify. I start at the back because I'm terrible at qualifying. So there's that. But he's a good guy to race with, and I've had some fun times with him. But yeah, I'd like to shout out to I'd like to shout out to Tim Lee for hosting this. It's been a great league. It's like my first full-time year with them, so I've been having a ball. Well,
again, man, it's always fun to get out there and have some great racing, meet some comrades, and get some great racing back there. And the league's filled with a lot of talent. So, you know, starting at the back, if I was out there, I'd probably be right there with you, and we'd have to work our way through the field. So don't feel any shame in it. The talent is definitely high here, and you put yourself in a great spot here tonight and got yourself a great finish. So again, congratulations on your second place finish, man, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
All right. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Have a good one.
You too.
Is your second place finisher here tonight, Cole Spaulding, in at the number 49. The man that is your winner here tonight, third win of the season. It's going to be the 13 of Ryan Kelly. Ryan, first off, how much are you going to have to slide the 49's way? Is it going to be just a case of beer to get it done? What's it going to take to certainly give a little thanks to that 49 for pushing you to the win?
Yeah, definitely owe him one. He was great pushing tonight. And also Joseph in third was pushing me really good in the beginning of the race as well. So shout out to those two guys, finishing 1, 2, 3. And yeah, Cole definitely made it easier for me at the end. And I think it helped too with that shootout. There wasn't really that many time for guys to generate bigger runs.
Well, earlier on in the race, we seen you and Joe Sullivan go for an extra lap on that second round of green flag pit stops. You were able to come out just a little bit faster than he was. You were able to hang on to that lead group. He was back there in that second group, and he had a 5-truck breakaway at the front. How kind of disappointing was it to see that caution come out when you know you were down to only 4 of the trucks to beat?
Yeah, definitely would have been interesting with the 5 of us up there and how the run started would have playing out with not many trucks pushing. But I was looking for Joseph back there, and then the caution came out and grouped everybody back up. But yeah, I think I was talking to him after, and he said he wound up taking tires, so that's why we got separated. I didn't take any tires, and he did. So, but I just caught on to the back of those 4 guys. I think if I was just a little bit farther, I would have lost him and been back there with everybody else. So luckily I was able to stay on, but then the caution came out and made it a good show at the end anyway.
Well, you've won at Echo Park, kind of the mid-range 1.5 mile track. You won at North Wilkesboro. You won at Talladega now. So Iowa should be just as easy coming up next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Definitely all the different lanes, and it was a really fun track. So looking forward to that one. And yeah, hopefully we can come out on top again.
We'll see if, like I said during the race, if you and Dalton continue to be selfish and steal all these wins from all these fabulous drivers out here. But either way, congrats again on your third win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, some family watching, and you guys put on a great show. All the drivers here, there's a great group of drivers here, and super respectful too. So it's a great pleasure to race here, and Tim for putting on the league, and looking forward to Iowa.
All right, buddy, we appreciate it, and a great run here again. We'll see you out at Iowa, see if you can get win number 4.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That is your winner here tonight, Ryan Kelly, in the 13, getting another one under the belt. I want to thank everyone out there again for tuning in here tonight. Again, next week we head to August and we head to Iowa for race number 5. We'll see who's got the hot shoe out there for 120 laps. It was a fun one here tonight. A couple cautions, and certainly the one late mixed it up and gave us a good finish, as we typically have here at these Dega races. But that is going to do it. You can still catch the ending over there for the Core GT if you're not done watching some racing here tonight. But for myself and Jimmy from the Talladega Superspeedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.